This video reveals the real reason why most school communities never go paid. I cover the free traps that keep community owners stuck in free forever and the one thing that replaces them all and ends waiting for you. Before we jump in, hi, my name is Evelyn. If we haven't met before, I'm now almost a dinosaur in the online membership space. I've been building them since 2020, multiple seven figures, and in general, I did over 9 million in low ticket and subscription sales for my businesses. All right, so with the proof out of the way, let's first jump into the first trap that is the biggest one. And that is the engagement / size trap. So most community owners think that they need to wait for engagement before going paid with ads. And that is absolutely wrong. Thank you. Especially for those of you that do not have any form of significant audience and content and personal brand out there, which is the majority of people that are starting with a free school community. Okay, so I get that your instinct is to wait to reach 100 members so you have more social proof, or to wait until you see daily posts, or to see that there is a buzzing feed so that you feel comfortable charging for your community. And while it does make sense to be patient with your community and invest a little bit into social proof and engagement before you go paid, just so that the overall experience when the first paying members come in is better for them, and also because social proof will lift you a little bit, it actually is not necessary to wait until any point to go paid, because the buzz in your community and the number of members is absolutely not what will sell your community. Okay, because this is the logical fallacy, are two different buckets. One is engagement, and it predicts how scalable and how retention friendly your community offer is and how community centric it is. And the other one is how sellable, how marketable is your offer that you have. And those two actually have nothing to do with each other. Why? Because communities are some of the most unattractive offers that you can make. And here's why. In order to sell a community, I have to sell the community experience, the people inside, what it's like. Like, that is actually the community. How do you sell community? Like, how do you really touch that specific vibe, those people, the jokes that go around, the support that is there? Yes, you can put buzzwords around it, right? You can say this is a supportive, like-minded community, but isn't everyone's community supportive and like-minded? What does it even mean? It's typically just not tangible enough to be sellable to a stranger who buys from you from an ad. And most of you, again, that don't have any audience or any meaningful content, any meaningful ways to drive quality traffic, that's where you will have to go in the beginning to really, really get things off the ground. Or, you just do cold outreach and you do engagement. So that is an option, definitely, to bootstrap, right? And to just white knuckle your way into having the first people. But eventually you're always fighting so much harder than you would need to if you just had an offer that is marketable. So my call here is that, yes, 100% we want to build community-centric offers, but not because they're marketable. We want to build them because they're super scalable, they're super fun, they're very easy to maintain, and they offer recurring revenue. I have 2,710 members and over $70,000 monthly recurring revenue, and this truly is a side project. Running the ads for school as a contractor consumes most of the time of my day. And then I also have AI and coaching certification, which also consumes time in the day. And then I also have multiple other memberships like Secret Weapon, PLR, etc., that also consumes time in the day. This is truly a side project. And the only reason why this is possible is because it's a community-centric offer. But it's a great offer to have for you as the owner and for your members who are learning by admission. And there's so many advantages to it, right? Just because it's a good offer to have as the person offering and to have as the person receiving does not mean it's a good offer for a stranger and to get them into your world, right? So these are different things, and it's really key that you understand the difference, right? And when we talk about things like community offers are great offers, it's because massively beneficial for you as the person offering, massively beneficial for the person receiving, but it's not a fantastic offer because it's a good offer. It's actually, from a marketability perspective, a very, very challenging offer. So you want to make your life easier and create offers that are highly marketable and let them live inside of your community, where you then absolutely do have the focus to build a community-centric business. It's just not what works for you on the front end to bring people in. So first thing to understand, do not wait for engagement. Do not wait for any member count beyond the point of this is where you would like to have it, right? So just know it's a personal preference. It's not a necessity or prerequisite. Next point is the offer, right? So the community is not what you sell if you want to go paid. We're purely talking in a context of you want to go paid and you're tired of waiting, right? I just explained how the community itself is not converting really well to cold traffic. So what does? Tangible things inside your community, like, for example, your classrooms that can be knowledge-based challenges, workshops, mini courses, or that can be problem-solving based. I call those the bakeries, right? Because they're typically the classrooms. And then the cookies are the small, tangible things that solve the problems for people along the transformation journey, right? So you also want to think about that in order to build community, you want to establish a shared cause, a shared journey, something we are working towards and fighting for together. So how do we even set the ground for that? It's by declaring what is our shared path. For that, you need knowledge offers. The most marketable containers to declaring a shared path are a mini course, a workshop, or a challenge, right? So this is what sets the shared path. And it's also really marketable. So it does help you with community, but it also does help you with bringing people into the community. And then, for example, in a challenge, I can have a template and a tracker and a cheat sheet and another tutorial, right? So those are the problem-solving implementation cookies that are then inside. And those things, the knowledge pieces and the problem-solving pieces, the little tangible things inside your community that establish the path and that help your members really, really tangibly in real life, those are the things that we want to advertise. Okay, so we don't say join our community. We focus on creating, a term that I coined is tangible deliverables, and we market those also because, like I said, the knowledge pieces give us shared path and the goodie pieces give us excitement, quick wins. It's rewarding that we hear. They're really, really good ways to create transformation, progress, and a ton of goodwill in your community. Okay, so whenever I need momentum, I don't run harder at the community side. I run harder creating new offers, new trainings, new tools to include inside my community. Also because I know that it's not I'm selling something else or I'm selling the community. It's first I'm selling something else so that I can sell the community. Because when I sell something else from within the community that either extends our shared path, right? Or it's a little side tangent because we're excited about that and I can really help people there. Whenever I put that on the front end, I get new people in and I can plug them seamlessly into the shared path. They come in, they're new, they're excited about this, they take action in that. Old members can start to help them out, right? Because they already know more, but they also see, oh, new people are here, new people are working on this. So it really does create this momentum on the shared path for the community as well. So it's not you either, you're selling community or you're selling the thing inside. No, it's a sequence. You're first selling this to then sell that, right? So that's a really, really key differentiation. And I think that, again, this is just something that's not super logical. So you need to understand the nuance of it, right? So when somebody says, oh, you should not sell the course, you should only sell the community, it's also not 100% true, right? Because just because we don't want to sell like a typical course anymore, we want to sell a community experience, we still have to find some way to establish a shared path, right? And that can be done through traditional knowledge containers best. Why? Because most people just already have partial familiarity with what these words mean. Not a lot of people understand community yet, like really viscerally, like what does it do? You really have to have been part of a really good one to get it, and then it clicks. It took me all the way to after I played the school games in 2024. Jessa Bellman and I played the first games ever. We came second with $81,000 in new monthly recurring revenue added in a month. And after that, I got stuck in the school world. I actually didn't want to like it, but I could not like it. And then I started to be part of a few communities. And then I started to be part of a few really good communities. And I was like, oh my goodness, I get it. But you have to have been part of that to truly get it. And most people that you can reach on your feed, or even with, with your free or paid content, they just haven't had that yet. But most people understand what a course is, or a workshop, or a challenge. So it's just easier to communicate and to Trojan horse into the community. Okay, so one important thing as well is that because this is working so well, and it's not only helping you with bringing people in, but also with the retention and the activation and the actual engagement of your members, you want to start establishing a mindset of, I'm never just dropping something, I'm always productizing something. Right? So for example, I can show you an example like happening just right now. Somebody in the community said, hey, I'm so inspired by this artifact. And it just dropped a comment. So I could have just shared the template, but I need to make this a little bit more special. So I created the template to share with them. And instead of just commenting under that post, which I also will, is I will also make a separate post with a little video walking through, and I will actually take that video and I will turn it into an ad and say, a member just asked if I can provide a template for this. And of course I can. This is just one of so many templates that are inside my artifacts course that live in my community Grow with Evelyn. If you want instant access, click the link and you can get it free inside the free trial, or you can also purchase it separately. Every asset I create, as much as I can, as much as I have time, I try to productize in a way that it can work on multiple places for me. Why? Because then also the perceived value for the members is higher, but also I can bring more people into my community and enroll them into the shared path more quickly. Okay, so that's how we want to think about it. And ultimately, if you want to go from free to paid, all you need is one really good asset people really want, because then that can be a winning ad in your community and you can grow very significant just from that. I did have an experiment. It's living on my YouTube channel where I started a new community, no pixel, no warm audience, fresh Facebook page, fresh Instagram page from scratch, and where I basically showed how I'm walking this path with the offers inside the community as well. And in there I had a workshop that really unlocked massive growth for me. So you only are one really good in-school offer away from going from free to paid. But in order for you to find that, you have to, start thinking about productizing how you want to help people and making what you do in the community tangible. Okay, now this is not, and this is why this is in here and so important, this is not a call for you to overbuild. Okay, so typically when I then say, oh, you need in-school offers to sell your community, people are like, okay, I have a 20 item list of things I can create with Cloud, and I want to build this and I want to build that. That is a big trap. You don't need all of these items inside of your community to start selling the community, because that is also just keeping you stuck. Like I said, one item is good enough for you to start testing if you can go paid. So now, how do you actually end the waiting? You want to run small ad tests at a really, really small budget to see if your community already has a heartbeat towards cold traffic. And as soon as it has, you can go paid, whether there is 500 members in there or 92 or 17 or free. Okay, so what you want to do is a small budget. So I recommend that you take 1 to 2 times the price of your community. So your community is $7. You want to take between $10 to $15 and put the in-school offer that you have or the school offer that you have on an ad. So if you have not advertised your school and validated your about page yet, that's the first thing to do, right? When you want to go paid with your community, don't tell anyone, don't say anything. Go into your settings of your community and then just go from free to subscription and put the price. That's it. Then it is paid. If you've never run an ad before, you also need to set up your pixel. I have a video about that on my YouTube channel. And then you take your about page copy and your about page banner, and you set up a sales campaign optimizing for purchase, and your ad is literally, this is the image, this is the visual, and then it's like, join the $7 ads club now. You want to have your keyword, your topic. Join the $7 calisthenics club now. And then you run this for 72 hours. If you do get a sale within those 72 hours, it will not be profitable, but that's also not the point. The point is just to validate. If you get a sale, then you know your about pitch is pretty solid and you have a heartbeat, right? So you can leave it at paid. And then you can even let members know that, you are turning things paid. If they still want to invite someone for free, maybe they should do it now. And then you can also let them know, oh, and if you're joining me for paid, then you're getting this bonus, right? So you can then start to play around with, how do I make the most out of the audience that's inside of Skool? Please remember, right, everybody's getting grandfathered in at the price that they joined. So some members might be free forever, which is also fine. They contribute to having social proof there and to actually have a membership, right? So keep that in mind. And also remember, like, once your offer is validated for paid, you can think of different modalities to upsell them. Well, maybe you already thought about creating your first in-school offer, and you can then let your members know, hey guys, I want to go paid. Now, if you're signing up for this, I created this resource. It's on the paid plan and you can get it with the paid. So you just then want to do a promo, try to upgrade as many people as you can, and then officially make your community paid. And then the next thing is to see, okay, are your ads profitable? If they're not directly profitable month one from a payback period perspective, you can just try as a next step to just add an annual plan. Very often, just adding the annual to your pricing. So here, to set a price, let's say you want to start with something low and then add annual as well, and add, for example, if you're doing 7, you want to do something really ridiculously low for the annual, like 49. That often is enough to get you to 1 month payback period where you can grow your paid community from cold traffic directly, breaking even month 1. For some of you, that might not work because the community itself that you have is not desirable enough to convert at high enough rates to full traffic. Oops, thank you. And that's actually not a problem, because then what you do from there is you just let these ads run at a really low flame, and you're thinking about, what in-school offers can I now create next to try to get people in at a more affordable rate, because that ads for your offers inside of your school will 90% of the time be more affordable than the ads for the school itself. And if you have an in-school offer that is converting really well, then you might even want to pull it out, put it on a separate page, and have a checkout with order bumps there to add a little bit more average order value. Or if you want to stay a purely school payments, which I also recommend, like there's lots of advantages to that, then you can also, once you see, okay, I have my in-school offers converting, my school offers converting, now you have more members, right? You have some momentum. Now you can start to do price increase launches, right? So, hey, join now. Next month, the price is going up. I would go up in like $10 increments all the way until you have overshot a little bit. And then once you have overshot on the price, you typically have more members, more in-school offer, more valuable content, and a better community. And then you can actually start to introduce a lower tier to your community. And that's how you actually get paid and get out of free forever. I hope this was helpful, and I see you in another one.